Observers debate. Shamsa Harthy, you've represented Ministry of Social Development. Could you tell us the employment when it comes to physically challenged or differently abled employees in Oman?
I think one of the points which has been raised in this roundtable discussion was about the employment and the ratio of females employment, disabled women, which is, I think, still very low. And I think the government, along with civil society, should work to increase this number.
So how many people are employed right now?
Well, based to the statistics I've got from Ministry of Manpower, up to the end of the beginning of March 2014, the total number was 1,508, and females are count only 214, which is, I think, this number is very low, and we should work very hard to increase the ratio.
Now, you're telling us in the debate that there is Wafa Centers and other NGOs with even international experts and Omani experts. You were specifically talking about parents also to have a certain level of education, specific level. Could you tell us more about that?
That's right. You know, the parents are playing a very important role to raise the disabled child and to provide more rights for them, because if a disabled child got a support from home, things can be very easy for him, you know, to move along in his life. And there is a lot of modern programs which cannot be implemented without parenting support. So I think one of the very important things is to raise the awareness among the families, and even to raise the level of education of among the parents, you know, how they can raise their child with disabilities, and that can be supported by key people in the Omani community, like from mosques or from the role models in Oman.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Mukhtar, Rawahi, you have been a dedicated person to increase awareness about physically challenged people in the country. Could you tell us what is the situation today? You're still upset when it comes to the ramps in the new buildings. Well,
it's the accessibility, yeah, it's not correctly to the specific measurements or the world specific specification. You see, you can make a ramp or you can make a slide, and these are two completely different things. So children can come and slide there, but you know, to have a proper accessibility ramp, you need to have the special service, and it has to take its distance to be able to reach the point. And this is unfortunately now with many new buildings that are not keeping to standards. And I'm very disappointed that there's no follow-up on these things from the Muscat municipality or whoever in charge of these buildings. And I'm sure this has to be corrected, and I hope it has to be done now, because these new buildings are coming out like, you know, like whatever you want to call it, so fast here in Muscat area, where we only had about 3-4 buildings that were 8 floors high. Now maybe we have about 60 or 70 buildings all over the Muscat. So these facilities have to be corrected now, not in the future.
Thank you, Mukhtar. Sheikha, at the Oman Observer debate, you concluded it basically saying we need a national policy and an action plan. What is that you dream?
I dream to see that accessibility standards and guidelines are implemented very strictly and everywhere. I mean, the accessible buildings should be available, the accessible services to everybody, including people with visual impairment, people with physical impairment, people, elderly people. I hope that everyone can go to any building and can access the building, can access the information even through via Braille or by sign language. I hope that we should spread the accessibility guidelines and standards all over, in every ministry, in every government body. This is my dream, actually.
And also to conclude, you started off the debate message with the trust element. Can you conclude with that for us?
Yeah, the trust element, I think that the employers feel reluctant or hesitant to employ people with disability. I advise them to put confidence, or to encourage them to try those people, to try their abilities, to give them the needed facilities in order they can work properly, work in an efficient manners. This is the trust I need. I need the employers, to try to give an opportunity to people with disability to practice or to join their work environment, and then the employers should provide them with the necessary facilities so that they can work efficiently. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Sheikha Jassasi. Wish you the best.
Thank you.